Hey DIYers, Jarrett with Alarm Grid here. Today we're going to be discussing if you can use the LT cable with the Qolsys IQ Panel 2 system. Yes, you can use the LT cable with the Qolsys IQ Panel 2 alarm system. Now, normally there is a power cable that does come with the Qolsys panel. It is basically because the Qolsys has its own built-in barrel plug or barrel connection on the circuit board, and the cable that comes with it basically looks like this. It's a pretty small cable, and it does have the end, or the male end, for the barrel connection. So you can just plug it into the back of the system. And then you have the other side, which has the red for positive and the black for negative. This is going to be wired to your transformer. But basically, if you wanted to use the LT cable, it's going to come with two different options, or not two different options, but it's going to be two different things you can be setting up. So you have this piece, which is going to wire directly to the back of the Qolsys panel. As you can see, it does give you, it's basically another barrel plug, but you have the red for positive and then the black for negative. These two wires are going to wire to the back of the Qolsys panel. I'll show you exactly where to wire those later in the video. Now, the Qolsys panel, it does run off of DC power, so you want to make sure that you're definitely wiring the correct negative and positive wires to the right terminals, so that you don't mess anything up. So definitely keep that in mind when you're looking at the red for positive and the black for negative. Now you do have the other piece, which is basically the rest of the LT cable. So you have the one end, which is the male end of the barrel plug. And then you have the other end, which is to wire to the transformer. Again, you have the red for positive and the black for negative. And as you can see, you have the little pieces at the end that will make it very easy to wire to the transformer. Now, if you did want to wire to the transformer, again, the system does use DC power. So basically, you want to make sure that you're wiring red for positive and black for negative. So as you can see, this is the transformer for the Qolsys panel. And as you can see on this side, you have a little plus sign, and then you have a negative sign. So you're just going to basically match those up. So red for positive, you're just going to put that underneath the screw. You're going to take a screwdriver, and you're going to just screw that in. And then you have the black for negative, which obviously is going to go to the negative sign. So you're just going to wire this underneath that screw as well. Hold it in place and just screw that in. Now you're just going to screw it in enough so that it's nice and snug. You're not going to force it in there and possibly ruin any or break anything. So, just make sure it's nice and snug. It's not going anywhere. So now I'm going to show you how to wire the other end of the LT cable to the back of the Qolsys panel. As you can see, we do have the Qolsys pulled off of the display wall behind me, and as you can see, we have the entire circuit board right here. So as I did explain before, we have the red for positive and the black for negative. And when you're looking at the terminals at the back of the panel, you should see a red for positive and a black for negative area. Now, you also have this little sticker right here that specifies that this little red area, or this little red terminal, is 5-volt DC in. And then you have the black, which is GND, which is basically ground. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the red cable, and it's not like you're not going to screw it in or anything like that. You're basically just pushing it into the little terminal area, and it's going to hold it in place. You just have to make sure the entire cable is being pushed in properly. So what you want to do is you're going to take this cable and you're going to push it in. As you see, it did just pop in there. And then you're going to take the black one, which is a negative, and you're going to push that in as well. And now we have the other end, or the one end of the LT cable wired into the Qolsys panel. As you can see, it is very snug. You don't want to pull on it too much, but it is very snug. And if you did ever want to take out the cable, what you want to do, instead of basically ripping it out of the panel, you're going to take a little screwdriver and you're just going to push down on these little pieces right here, and it's going to pop out the cable. So now, normally, when you have the LT cable already wired and everything, basically all that's left to do is to fish the cable through the wall. Now, normally the Qolsys panel does need to be wall mounted, and as you can see on our display wall, we have the wall mount, or the basic back plate already mounted to the wall. And if you want to make the system completely flush with the wall, you want to feed that cable or fish the cable through the wall, so it's coming out of this hole in the back, right? You have this specific little hole on the mounting plate to make sure that you can fish that cable. Now, when you already have the other end of the LT cable plugged in and you have your cable fished, all you got to really do is plug in the barrel plug. So what you do is you're going to take the two cables, you're going to plug that in. You're going to push the cable through the wall. You're going to take your little antenna wire and you're going to push that through as well. And you're going to mount your Qolsys panel. And that answers the question to if you can use the LT cable with the Qolsys IQ Panel 2 system. If you have any questions about the Qolsys IQ Panel 2 or alarm systems in general, please contact us at support@alarmgrid.com or go to our website, alarmgrid.com. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you want notifications on future videos, please click the bell icon. This is Jarrett with Alarm Grid. You have yourself a great day.